Good morning, everyone. Let me start by asking you a simple question. Have you looked at the news about wildfires, floods, rising temperatures, and thought to yourself, I am just one person. What can I possibly do about the climate change? That's exactly what many people feels, and I also used to feel. But throughout the research, documentaries, and real-world environmental studies during my time as a student at UiTM, Shah Alam, I've come to realize something powerful. You and me, yes, you, are just not part of the problem, but also can be part of the solution. Today, I am here to convince you that climate change is a crisis we can longer ignore. And more importantly, that your action as a student and as a global citizen are truly matters. Next, climate change is not a future threat anymore. It's happening right now. According to my studies, to World Meteorological Organization at 2023 was the hottest year ever recorded. Glaciers are melting, sea levels are rising, and wildfires are burning through forests in Canada, Greece, and Australia. Floods are destroying homes in Indonesia, India, and even here in Malaysia. Just last year, a part of Kuala Lumpur and Johor experienced severe flash floods that displaced thousands of families. You may have even witnessed it to yourself. So this is not just a global problem, it's personal, it's local, and it affects us, students, families, and future professionals. So, what causing all of this? That's the question. Climate change is driven by a buildup of greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide and methane. In our atmosphere, these gases trap the heat, causing the planet to warm. They're released by burning fossil fuels like coal, petrol, and gas, deforestation, industrial processes, and yes, even the food we eat and the waste we create that cause this problem. While government and corporation are responsible for large-scale emission, we can ignore the consumer behavior, which is include us. Every individuals contribute around 4 to 6 tons of carbon dioxide annually, depending on lifestyle. And when you multiply that by a millions, you get a global scales impact on this problem. Now, I know this is sound overwhelming, but here's the truth. If individuals' action contributes to the problem, they can also be part of the solution. And as a university student, we are in a unique position. We have the tools, the voice, and the potential to inspire the change. Let me break down into 5 practical things that we can do, not in theory but in action. The first one, say no to the single-use plastic. We all love bubble teas and take-out foods, but the plastic waste is harming our oceans and clogging our rivers. As a student, we can start by carrying reusable water bottles, food containers, reusing plastic straws and cutleries, and encouraging our campus cafes to reduce plastic packaging. The next one, choose sustainable transport. That you know, the transportation accounts for nearly 25% of global CO2 emissions. We can reduce this by walking, cycling to the class, using public transport instead of driving, and sharing rides when going back to the hometowns during semester breaks. Alright, the third one is eat consciously. You don't need to be a vegan overnight, but reducing meats, especially beef, even twice a week can help. Alright, the question is why? Because a livestock farming produces methane, a greenhouse gases that 25 times powerful than carbon dioxide. So, how, as a student, you can act? The first one, try a meatless Monday routine, support campus canteens that offer plant-based option, and join a food sharing communities to reduce food waste. The next one is save energy and resources. Electricity might feel invisible, but it comes to a burning fossil fuels. So, as a student, what you can do? The first one is turn off lights, fans, and your laptops when not in use. Unplug chargers and advocates the solar panels or motion sensors in campus buildings. Alright, the last but not least one is educate and influence others. This one is very, very critical. As a student, our voice are powerful, especially on social media. So how we to educate? The first one, share climate facts or local eco project on Instagram or TikToks. The second one is organize a recycling campaign in your faculties. The third one is encouraging your friends and family to reduce waste at homes and campus. Write a student council and university admin asking for a greener policy. Why this is matters? Because change spreads through our influence. You have become the reason for someone else to become more climate conscious about this topic. Now, let's look ahead. The first future, the path of inaction. You wake up in a scorching temperature, it hasn't rained for a week, there's a water rationing in your areas, flood hits your cousin home again, the food price goes up because the farm can collapse, and you scroll throughout social media seeing post after post about disasters again. The second one is the path of action. You walk through a greener, cleaner campus, there's solar panels above your lecture halls, you see your friends, you see other students cycling, using reusable bottles, and the cafe that no longer giving out plastics. The air you smell clean, and your little brother is learning about the climate care in schools, just like when you did at your age. The difference between these two futures is you, your voice, and your action. Next, be the change. So, what should you take from this? You don't need to be a climate expert, and you do not need to do everything perfectly. But you need to start by choosing one habit, one conversation, one change, and from there let it grow. Because your action multiplied by 1,000 of other students create momentums, and the momentums lead to change, a real change. Let me end with a quote that has been stuck with me, and I think this is a good quote. It is great test of all mistake to do nothing, because you can only do a little. Do what you can, by Sydney Smith. So today, I urge you to do what you can, where you are, with what you have. Because you are the solution of climate change. Thank you from me. Assalamualaikum.